So I've just entered a trade on euro dollar. Let's just do a higher time frame analysis of where we are. I've been waiting for price to come down and take out this sell side liquidity on the daily time frame, which it finally did right this morning. It's the 16th of October, Wednesday. We have failed to close below multiple low previous days. 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row we failed to close below. We've come down and taken out that liquidity. On the 4 hour, we have a channel with RSI divergence. We have a clear imbalance on the daily time frame, this fair value gap that price can come and tap into or clear out. On the 4 hour time frame, yeah, we have come down to that level. And on the 1 hour, at the end of the channel, we have this range. We have a double range. Essentially, we have a range that's formed here, and we've come to the low of this range and formed another channel, another range, and we have another range at the bottom of that range, which is the ones that's highlighted in red. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've had the 5th test of that range, and we took out liquidity of both of the lows of the range and also that sell side liquidity below that. And that, to me, and the way price came down with this sharp bearish engulfing candle as it approached that level, was a pretty good sign that price might hold. And I took an entry as price came down, put this candle, held it with this candle, and then put in this bearish candle, and I took an entry somewhere around, I believe just around here, aiming for these highs. I have my stops at 73 because I want to give myself enough room just in case price does want to move lower, because on the 15-minute I can imagine this being an inside bar candle, and then price coming down, taking out the low of this candle, and then continuing higher up. And honestly, I'm saying target here, but I think we can aim for these highs or even higher. But target ones, I'll be looking at those highs anyway. And let's see how the markets play out. No news as well going into today, so yeah, there might be a slow move up, but let's see how it plays out. Also, it's 7:20. I entered at around, when did I enter? I entered at this candle's 2:10, so 7:10 UK time. Maybe you should have waited till 8. Nah, for me this is good enough entry. We're consolidating, ranging at the moment. We might break down in lower one more before going up, so I will be watching out for that. It was a bit aggressive entry, but this, when price is aggressive in the opposite direction, when your prediction is in a certain direction, that it likes to do things like this, and ideally should hold, and then go up. So let's see how it plays out. So that trade played out quite nicely. I entered in the morning around here before the close of this candle, so we had that sell side liquidity right there on the daily time frame, which is this right there. And I entered, let's just get rid of some of these lines. I entered based on the channel we've had on the 240, this channel with RSIs diverging, but I was also looking at this smaller channel on the 1 hour time frame and on the 15-minute time frame. Although we don't have the RSI oversold on this, on the 15-minute we did. And yeah, we had this range, then another small range, essentially accumulation. This is manipulation, and then I was anticipating price to come up here, and then even I was aiming for these highs because we'd just taken out a sell side liquidity. So I was quite ambitious going into the morning, going into the trade. So I entered before this close of this 1 hour candle, and there's something to note is, there's no news today. So I entered based on the fact the price came down to the low of that range with this sharp bearish candle all of a sudden in the morning, which was quite out of the ordinary for no news days. So for me, that suggested there was a price, it's just a manipulation before price continued higher. That's what was going on in my head. This normally happens during news. However, because there's no news, I can't allow price isn't just all of a sudden going to pick up from here and go up, which is what it normally seems to do during news or post news. And then on the 5-minute right, I saw this inside bar candle. That was even better because I thought, price is going to continue higher. And then we get this candle. I entered around the low of this, around the low of this candle. Had my stops at 73, and I let the rest just chill. And I was aiming for those highs. And then price drops, consolidates one more time. It's essentially further accumulation. Then this is manipulation, which would have been a better entry, but that's fine because I'd given myself room to breathe. Another manipulation, a channel on the 5 minute, a small channel, and then we get the push up, pulls back, market structure shift, pull back to 618, and there was another entry there, and then price just continues higher to the point where the way it moved, I was even more confident that price is going to take these highs out, and I was a bit too ambitious, because as price took out this high and started to pull back, I believe, around here, just at this New York 6 to 7 o'clock candle, and as this candle was printing, I knew this was just an order block for price to find support underneath it and then push higher, but still I took out 0.5% off my trade around somewhere at 2 to 1, and then that was 1%, and then as price moved up, came into that order block on 60, tapped it in a way with this bearish engulfing candle, and that to me now started ringing bells. On the 240, that candle didn't close with a bullish engulfing candle, which is what I was anticipating. I was anticipating this 2 o'clock candle, this 5 o'clock candle US time, to be a bullish engulfing candle, because that didn't happen. Now I just wanted to get out of the trade, because weekly time frame bias, we are in a bearish order flow. We've come out, taken out loads of liquidity, and held this order block above this liquidity at the fair value gap on 60 and 240. So I didn't want to, to me that is another sign that price is looking to go lower now, and I exited the trade somewhere around here, overall gaining 1.7% on my trade. If I had just left it, man, and just taken all my targets off at that order block from here, that was around 3R, almost 3R, and I saw my account go up to 3R at one point, and just saw it drop down. And what was harder was just taking the loss when I knew that I had 3R at one point, and because price started moving in against my direction, it was quite hard to close the second position because of the fact that I was already 3R in game, or 3R in profit, and it's clearly my mind just wanted to get that again. And as the price came down, took out this low, I was thinking, maybe we'll find support here and push up one more time, but nah, that 1 hour candle close and the 2 hour failure to become an engulfing candle was enough evidence to suggest to me that we are gonna continue lower. So because of that, I exited that trade, and I'm so thankful for that. And there were days where I would pray that I could hold a trade for 2R at least, right? And here was me today, when I was in 3R in profit, I didn't even exit the trade. The lesson really, because of the fact that it's Wednesday as well, and we're weekly time frame, order flow is bearish. Like, what am I doing? What am I aiming for? Fucking maximum profit, when these highs would have been more than enough. I would have been more than happy taking targets off at these highs normally anyway, and today was just a day I had too much confidence when I was already in the trade. But it's a good lesson learned. I'd rather learn this lesson now than, and also I know why, because I was around 0.5 or 0.4% away from passing a 8% challenge on a prop firm. I needed price to come to this 1.90903, and that would have been me with my 8% challenge phase 1 done. And because of that, I held that trade, even though I would have easily gotten out at a 3% profit. It's crazy. And yeah, man, it's annoying, but that's what greed can do to you. But still, 1.7 I'm honestly more than happy with, because that's not something that's a very big risk reward for me. And the fact that it could have been 3 and it wasn't, because for a specific reason, and that reason is identified and hopefully not repeated in the future, is another lesson. So let's see how the rest of this plays out. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, I am actually still expecting price to find support around here. Like, the channel is still in play. Just because we had a pullback on that channel doesn't mean that channel isn't still in play. We've had, this is essentially a high got taken out here first, then price pulled down, took out the low, then price came up, took out the high, and it just looks like price is coming down and taking out the low one more time before finding support, which is mental. And So again, it's formed this range, which is a good pattern here, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 test range. Maybe we'll find some support around this level. I want to wait more confirmation. I want to wait for a retest. I want to see price come down and retest this one more time. I don't want to trade aggressively. And then I can only imagine this is going to close as a bearish candle above that sell side liquidity. Maybe we have ECB coming out tomorrow. ECB's interest rate decision, and if this is a bearish candle, I can imagine tomorrow one being a bullish engulfing candle. Especially if it comes down wicks below this 50% off that fair value gap. It might not, because we're quite deep into this range anyway on the daily time frame. But I do imagine that if we hold this, we can find some support to push price higher. This is just the first sign of bulls coming into the market. And this is another channel at the end of that 240 channel on the 60-minute on RSI is diverging. And on the 15 as well, we have channel with RSI oversold and RSI diverging. So honestly, this will be a good setup around here, which is quite late in the afternoon for me though. I waited for the 9 o'clock candle to close, and it turned out with like this, a bearish engulfing candle that closed below all of these lows. And to me, that was too strong of a bearish momentum to look for a bullish opportunity after that. And then I left the trade, the market do its thing. And look, we displaced lower, we're leaving bearish fair value gaps along the way. And we also closed below that daily time frame fair value gaps 50% on Wednesday, so yesterday. So to me, honestly, after seeing that 4-hour close, I didn't really look for any bullish momentum. I was waiting for that retest, right? But after seeing that close, I avoided. I didn't, even on the 1 hour, not just that, the 1 hour time frame, the 5-minute time frame, nothing was adding up. So we did get pulled down. We got a market structure shift on the 5-minute time frame. However, on the 15-minute, this was just a pin bar, and to me that was not a good enough reason for entry, and I'll let the trade do its thing, or market do its thing. And at the moment, I honestly, if the channel is going to be in play, it's going to have to come down and take out these fair value gaps and that below that monthly order block for me to look for opportunities to go long, because right now I'm definitely bearish on this pair. It's overall good trade for me. I think I could have taken off more than what I took. Price came into this order block and found strong resistance, put in a statement candle that just rejected that level above that fair value gap, above these swings in a bearish order flow, and then just pumped lower.